Hi, this is Mysterious Angels, part 2. Sorry, love one was abruptly cut, but I was making a drink and for some unknown reason, I clicked it off. So I'll be doing, this is a part 2, okay? So, I think Don needs medical help, mental health help, a lot. And I think he needs counselling at the minute. And I get it, he believes his wife, I get it. Right? He's got nothing else to go on. He believes his wife and his mother because they were the last to see her. He believes what they say. We get it. We do. But I think he's losing it. And I really do believe he can't take much more. And I don't believe it's because someone's missing. I really don't. I believe it's because of what his sisters and stepsisters and family has come out with. See, sometimes when people like that get to a certain age, right? When people like that get to a certain age and they want to stop and they want to settle down and they want to just be average and just be treated average, right? I'm having a smoke, sorry. Treated average, being average, right? And then all of a sudden, your daughter's missing. You've had the police called on you so many times for domestic violence and stuff like that. Then your family, instead of saying, look, we're not going to come out with it, comes out with it. Everything you've done from ever since you were small. I think he's ashamed. I think he thought he got away with it and nobody would know. Nobody would know his status. His guardian fast asleep. Right? Nobody would know his status. At all.
Do not worry, the alarm call has been cancelled.
My blood sugar's down. Right? So, that's it. That's what we're talking about here. Okay? Don is having a breakdown. And it's, like I said, everyone's saying it's because he's lost Summer, blah, blah. I don't think so. I think it's because his secrets are out. And he didn't want people to know. He wanted to pretend to be someone else. A hard-working father. Maybe he has changed his ways. Look, guys, I've got no doubt maybe he is trying to change his ways. But your past will come and haunt you if you do bad things. That's just the way life is. You can't run from yourself. You can't run from what you do in your life. It's part of your jigsaw puzzle. So you can run as fast as you can. You can go alongside the other world. It will catch up with you because your jigsaw puzzle's in your back. It's in your backpack. It's going to carry you. And on the day you die, when you're in the spirit world and that, it's going to all come together and it's going to make your whole life. And you can't hide it. There's nothing you can do. It's a natural thing. It takes natural photographs of your life and natural videos and pops it in your natural invisible pouch. So this is why parts of the Bible says, be careful. Love is strong. Love your neighbours. Do for others. Stop. Like, if you don't want people to harm you, then you don't harm others. This is like, you know, he sits there. Candice turned around, like Chris, the interviewer, was nearly in tears because Candice turned around and said, why is God punishing me? You really want to ask that question? You really want to ask? Number one, why is he punishing you? It's Summer's life. It's Summer that's going through the hell. It's Summer that has lost their life. It's Summer that has been punished. Why would your God punish a child, an innocent child? He wouldn't. But to say, I wouldn't have cried, I would have slapped her. I would have said, you pathetic fool. You're being punished. Is there something wrong with you? Your child could have been kidnapped, according to you. She's scared, she's frightened, she's away from the safety of what she knows. But you're being punished. God knows what's happened to her or happening to her or where she is or what she's doing or has she passed, is she in pain? But you're being punished. I would have gave her such a slap. I would have and said, buck up. But no, what am I going to get the blame for? Because she's poor. She ain't poor. She ain't. Look, you have a path in life and you have opportunities in life. That's the point. And how you behave with that is what happens, in my opinion, and mine only, and I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. My opinion is what you do, what life throws at you. Look, heaven is earth and hell is what people put you through. And how you deal with that hell, I think, is where you go next. What you do next once you pass away from your body. That's my opinion, my thoughts only. So, if you have a problem and along your path you get given an opportunity, some people say, oh, you know what? It's like 90% hard work and 10% fate, which is true. I believe that. I really believe that you can work as hard as you want, but you need that 10% of fate to step in for you to be able to succeed. Fail or stay the same. But at that point, Candice and Don were given in their life loads and loads of opportunities. They got given beautiful children. They got given a chance to have a family, to break whatever circle of their past families have done and make a new family, a new start. They were given a house for free. They were given all that land for free. They didn't have to put down payments on. They have cars. She has her mum on the property to help a third adult that's brought up children of her own to help. They've got land where they can grow and let their children be free. And you know, when you're abused and you know no better, of course you're going to be happy when you're out in the elements and you've got a motorbike and you're riding around and you're allowed to swing in the trees freely. You have that sense of freedom, but also that sense of control at the same time, where you're controlled. So when you leave that control, you pretend to survive. You pretend that your world around you's free, that it doesn't exist. Only that moment exists. So Summer being on that swing, her moment only existed then, with her doggy and swinging around and looking at the earth moving around her and that freedom, and no one screaming at her or yelling or drunks or slapping, or watching the two people she most loves in her life beating each other up, hating each other, not knowing which one's bad, which one's good. She doesn't think of all that. She just thinks of the freedom of spinning around that beautiful swing, that freedom. And she takes it and absorbs it in. The puppy that gives her the love that she needs, that loyalty. The dogs are teaching her how to love the puppies, because she sits and watches the mum and the dad and how the mum protects her pups and stuff. And she learns from there, because she's learning, she's 5. So, of course, if you look at the pictures on Candice's wall and that, if you look at the pictures, when you see Summer in Mother Nature doing her own thing and being free, she's got the biggest smile, the biggest heart, the biggest. You just look at her and think, oh bless. She's this is her element. And then you look at the staged photographs of her sitting with her brothers, and they're made to sit still and take photographs, and you look at the fake smiles. That's because children live by moment, just like animals do at that age. It's not until we get taught as teenagers that we should have more, expect more, be more. But as children, we're just like puppies. We're just like animals. We just expect whatever is. And we make the best of what we've got. And we move forward all the time. We don't look at pain in the past. We move forward all the time, and we step carefully and quietly and hope for the best. Hope. It's all they've got. But when Chris was walking down, he said, oh, we should go round because it's really bad. And she goes, well, my 6-year-old husband can get down there. But why should you have to struggle like that? Say there's a fire, your kids are upstairs near the kitchen. Say there's a fire. You get out through the door. How are you going to get up and go across to save your kids? You're not going to know anything. Depending on how many years they've been there, they could have said, oh, we're only living here temporary while we're building. We've got plans to build a house. We've got plans to build on this house. That's why my husband's working day and night, so we can get money together, so we can build. So each of our children, these are the plans. We're going to have a nice garden and have like fruit garden and vegetable gardens, and we're going to have a place where, like a shed where the dogs can go and be like where they want to be, and we've got vet bills and blah 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 blah. They have no plan. Their plan is plain and simple. Live every day like it's your last. Spend every bit of money you've got on drink, drugs, alcohol, sod everything else. The children know no better. That's why they smile. But now they've been taken away and they're going to be shown something different. They're not going to smile for a very long time. For a very long time. At the minute, they're confused. They don't know what's going on. They're hearing adults saying, oh, you can't stay in here. It's too dangerous. You're just coming away. Because they're going to have to explain why they're taken away from the mum and dad. Because they're not going to understand it. Because if they say, oh, you've been abused, they're going to look at them and what? What are you talking about? I've got a motorbike. I can ride. Mummy lets me ride around on my motorbike. Well, no, there's more to it than that. Your bed is the state of your bedrooms. You shouldn't be living like that. You shouldn't. Why shouldn't we? We're healthy. We're eating. We're well fed. But are they? Everyone says, oh, look, they're well fed. How do you know they're well fed? What, because they're overweight? Isn't it true that the people have said, like the people around them, the neighbours, and said they eat a lot of trashy food? So they could be in nutrients. They could be actually nutrient deficient. If they're just eating takeaways and that, they could have like the arteries and that already hardened up with lard and fat, and they could be actually more ill than what you think they are. That's the bit. I'm not judging until I see their reports, which they will be doing. They will be getting a full physical, plus blood tests and everything else, and then it will come out how deficient they are. But it's what makes me laugh. If you're super skinny, you're unhealthy. If you're overweight or obese, then you're unhealthy. It's not true. I seen this guy, right? He's got a condition where he went to a CT scan, he went inside, and he has more fat on his organs than a super obese person has. And yet he's so underweight and thin, he just looks like skeleton skin. It's because his body can't put the fats in the right places on his body, so it's on his organs. So he gets told he has to go on a diet. He rides his bike and everything. He looks so thin. I swear to God, he's like a skeleton with skin. That's it. He cycles everywhere. He does everything. But everything he eats that has a little bit of fat in it goes straight onto his organs because it's a condition. And yet he looks really sick. Don't judge a book by its cover. For Candice and Don, we're not judging you because of what you've got. We're judging you on your behaviour. And if you didn't want to be judged, then don't do interviews. If you didn't want to be judged, then you should have let a representative talk on your behalf and stayed out the limelight. You should have stayed off Facebook and TikTok and all them things and let a representative talk on your behalf. You trust the church, do you not? Then get your deacon to sit and talk on your behalf. He did a good job talking about the church. Do your statements through him. It ain't hard to figure out, is it? If I can figure it out, anyone can. Look, at the end of the day, we're not interested whether you're rich or poor. We're not interested whether you can afford the latest Lamborghini or not. Or you can afford brand new clothes or not. Who buys brand new clothes when you live in a place of outdoors? Who does? I don't. I've got loads of really good clothes in my wardrobe, but you'll only see me in tracksuits. Why? Because me and Garden go for walks in fields and mud, and I've got allotments, and you know, we're forever messing up. But my house is spit spot clean. Why? Because I have wallpaper that if mud gets on it or paint or anything like that, mud gets on it or anything, it can be wiped off. I have flooring that is put down, so and I ain't rich. I'm in a council property. I ain't got land like that. I've got allotments that I've worked hard to get. People say, oh, people hate us because of our accent or where we are or what we do or no. How come a parents are beating each other up in front of your children? You think they're good parents? You're showing your sons how to hit women. You've got 3 boys there. You're walking in drunk with drugs. So you've already given them a sense of addiction, some kind of addiction they're going to have. And instead of helping them and showing them your strength and that they don't need to follow that path, the dad beats the mum up. I have no doubt they've done it in front of them children. That's what we're judging you on. When a child goes missing, the police would judge you as a parent. So will the public. If you've got nothing to hide, then you can say, yeah, all right, I haven't done much with my life, but I love my kids. And I can prove I love my kids. I don't take drugs. I don't take alcohol. I try and give them the best time they can. I love them. I read them stories every day. I keep them clean. I keep them fed. I keep them warm. I keep a roof over their head. I kill myself to do that every day. I try to keep up on top of the ironing, but it gets a bit too much when I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. Yes, I have to ask sometimes help from the children to help me clean a bit. You don't say none of that. I'm a good mum because I love those kids more than anything. It's not a true statement. People see it. We're not stupid. I've seen families live in one bedroom. There's been like a mum, a dad, and 7 kids from ages ranging from 14 under to babies. And including one of their children is an 18-year-old girl that's got her own child. And they all live in a 1-bedroom hotel at the minute. Right? Till they can find a house. The British, they're born in this country and everything, right? Apparently the Slumlord or something was really bad and they couldn't stay there no more. So they had to move out because it became dangerous where they lived. So they all live, cook in this like hotel type thing, right? 1 bedroom. The dad sometimes gets stressed and goes and sleeps in his car. Look it up, it's a documentary about them on YouTube, right? But yeah, every single one of them kids say, yeah, I do struggle. I have to sit here and do my stats and stuff like that from school while my sister and my sister's baby's crying and we have to sort the babies out. Then they're hungry and they have to get their bottles fed and we're all in one bed, a big bed and then a small bed my mum and dad are in. But their children are all clean. Their room that they're in is tidy. There's no dishes anywhere. There's no clothes anywhere. Because there's not enough room. If they put clothes there, they'll be overwhelmed. They'll suffocate. But yet you can tell the love because they all help each other. They all cuddle. They all tell stories. They all have baths together. They play together. They go out for walks together. They cook in that 1 bedroom. They could go out every night and go to takeaways, but they choose not to. They choose to go out, get some fresh fruit and vegetables every day, and try and cook for their children in a 2-ring, like it looks like it goes on the side, and they cook everything from the ring and a microwave. That's it. It's not about where you live. It's not about how much money you got. It's about your behaviour. It's what people judge you on. Haters will hate you for your behaviour because you sit there saying, I love those kids with everything I've got. But yet you get drunk in front of them, you take drugs and you beat on them. You bring people onto the property that are strangers to stay with you. You say you don't know your neighbours. Yet that community looks like a kind, gentle, caring community. It really does. It looks like one of them communities that you wish for. You've got your own little church, your little community that everyone helps each other out. There's not much interference with anyone, so everyone helps each other out. You've got a school and a school teacher that knows you, knows your children, knows everything, where you are, who you are, what you are. You all work together, go to church, meet up like a church family. You have the ideal place. You've got a beautiful home with, and I know before you all have a go at me, it is beautiful. Look at the scenery. It's just them that have made it look like that by their behaviour. But take all that away and that land could look like the most beautifulest place on the earth. Put a few bit of seeds down to grow some, like make little gardens and grow some flowers and grow some fruit and vegetables and grow some fruit trees and stuff like that in there. That could look like a paradise. Fix the outside. Do rendering and stuff like that. Wouldn't take long, not much money. Stop drinking and taking drugs and save that money to do that with. Within a year, that property would look like a gold mine. They're not poor. They've got opportunity to be someone, and this is why people are getting frustrated. You have an opportunity to be the best parent you can, and you don't. You have the opportunity to have a good business and have a good place to stay because you got it for free. You don't. You pretend to be poor. There's no way you can be poor and own 3 cars. I know a family that 2 people work, that the eldest 2 children work, and the youngest 2 are at school, and then they're still struggling in a council property and they have 1 car between them. And they're just scraping together the money to stay alive, to feed their children, because they work. They're in a council property, they have 1 car, because that's all they can afford. But again, the children are well fed, well looked after, and happy. Although they don't get much for Christmas. They go down to the food bank a lot. A food bank is where they go down and get food from. But both parents work their guts out in jobs that saves lives. You should think about that. Candice had her mum on the trailer, right? In her house. There was nothing stopping Candice going to work as well. There was nothing stopping Candice when her husband Don was out working hard, rendering and doing stuff, to say to him, can you bring some stuff home? Or go down to the church and say, can anyone help us? Does anyone know how to build? Does anyone know how to do a garden? Does anyone know how to... Is there any way I could get help? Because I want to change the way we live. I want the kids to have a garden each with vegetables growing in it, and I want them to look after their vegetable patch, and I want the fruits, and I want stuff like that to put around my house. I want to make this beautiful land that God created and be the caretaker and make it better. Your choice. Or just sit there and let the world rot around you with your nose and your mind, with alcohol in your body. See, what we look at when we go to your place, when pictures are shown, is the inside of you. The messy mind. The cluttered heart. And the decay of the body because of the drugs and the alcohol. The way you live, your home is your reflection of who you are inside. If you've got, like, your house is beautiful, but if you go into the loft, it's full of stuff, it means that you've got a good heart, but your mind is full of stuff. Your house betrays who you are. Think about that. If you live in a cluttered house, how can you think? How can you breathe? If you live in a decaying house, why? The amount you spend on them 3 cars and the motorbikes and the petrol for the motorbikes and the animals and the drugs and the alcohol, you could make your mind clear, your house clear, your heart healthier, your children happier, your body cleaner, your environment, stop the decay, build it back up. And you can do it all together. You can build you and your place together. And all it takes is your 2 hands. That's it. And a few bits of seed. Anyway, guys, this is the second part of this. Please comment down below. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you would like to help start this channel up and stuff, and you've got ideas, please put them down. Please speak your mind of what you think. Okay? On this channel, you are free to do so. The only thing I ask you to do is do it with a bit of decorum, and also don't attack somebody else's belief, somebody else's feelings, somebody else's thoughts. It's not fair. Let them have their freedom of speech just like you without being judged. Be kind. That's all I ask you to do. You can say what you need to say without hurting or shouting or screaming at anybody else or calling anybody else names. You will be blocked if you do that. But you have freedom of speech to speak. Speak what you think. Speak your mind. This isn't about, I'm not a police officer. This isn't a place for facts. This is a place of what you think, what you feel, and what your impressions of what you see are. So feel free. Feel free to correct me on anything. Feel free. You won't be punished for doing that. You'll only be punished by being blocked if you're causing others harm. That's it. Okay, guys. Love your family. Love yourself. Stay safe. Please, fingers crossed that no matter what, we find summer. Catch you in the next video, guys. See you later, alligator.